please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, General Dr. Michelle Johnson.
It's a wonderful thing when our professions take different paths, and yet we find ourselves in professions that honor meaning so much. And so today, as I'm here with the pageantry of the faculty and the trustees, the students, all of you, it strikes me, that this is the meaning of life moment where we knew where we were, and we are here at a milestone for Robert Morris University. And that sense of meaning is not lost on any of us, I know, but it's so much a privilege to be part of that. To the Howard family, Chairman Harshman, Dean Manna, members of the Board of Trustees, distinguished guests, friends, supporters, and alumni of Robert Morris University, esteemed faculty, staff, and perhaps for all of us, most importantly, students, if I may. And I need to give a shout out to my personal ambassador from RMU, Daria Jacobs, who I'm going to take back to Colorado Springs with me, I think, when we go. But what a warm welcome I've received, and the energy I've felt is so true and so inspiring. It's simply remarkable to be recognized by this renowned institution, a national university, whose commitment to academic excellence has produced so many distinguished graduates from every walk of life. I'm grateful to be here today to celebrate the inauguration of our university president and close friend as he harnesses his talent and energy to the rich history and abounding promise of this wonderful university. Now, I may be biased, but I think RMU could not have picked a more qualified individual to lead this institution at this time, and I think I was affirmed by my predecessors on the stage. I want to start off by congratulating the search committee on fulfilling one of the most difficult tasks at any college or university, to find, recruit, and hire a college president. This was never an easy task. When the Yale trustees were searching for a new president 160 years ago, one of the committee members described the characteristics of the individual, assumed in those days to be a man, as follows. He had to be a good leader, a magnificent speaker, a great writer, a good public relations man, a man of iron health and stamina, married to a paragon of virtue. His wife, in fact, had to be a mixture of Queen Victoria, Florence Nightingale, and the best-dressed woman of the year. Well, you got that right. You got that right. That's great. A man of the world, but an individual with great spiritual qualities, an experienced administrator, but able to delegate. In this case, a Yale man. And a great scholar, a social philosopher, who thought he had the solutions to the world's problems, yet still had not lost the common touch. After lengthy deliberation, the committee concluded there was only one such person, but then a dark thought crossed their minds. They had to ask, is God a Yale man? So, notwithstanding the many cultural norms which have been overcome by events since then, it is interesting to look back and see the indispensable and far-flung qualities of a successful university president, and that they have not changed. Leadership, communication, scholarship, experience, and an ability to get things done are all necessary today, as in the 19th century, probably more so. Of course, I can, again, think of no one who better embodies these qualities or is better suited to lead RMU than my good friend, now my mentor, and colleague, a leader of character, Dr. Chris Howard. You are aware of his accolades, a 1991 distinguished graduate of our own U.S. Air Force Academy, the recipient of the National Football Foundation and College Hall of Fame Campbell Trophy, which recognizes the absolute best football scholar athlete in the country, an academic All-American, of course, a Rhodes Scholar, an MBA with distinction from Harvard, and the 2016 recipient of the NCAA Silver Anniversary Award. Dr. Howard's professional accolades are equally impressive, and you've heard some of them. A distinguished military career as a helicopter pilot and intelligence officer in Special Operations Command, the president of Hampton-Sydney College in Virginia, the vice president for leadership and strategic initiatives at the University of Oklahoma, and successful industry experience at General Electric and Bristol-Myers Squibb, none of whom really wanted him to fly away. I also had the privilege of knowing Chris during his academy days. And far away in Colorado Springs, it was flurrying snow yesterday. And the cadet campus area is at 7,000 feet. So physically, we're far away, but he's pretty true to who he's always been. He managed to overcome the burden of having me serve as his academic advisor, having been an undergrad in operations research and taking up politics and economics at graduate school. But I was on the faculty at the Department of Political Science at the Academy, where Chris earned a Bachelor of Science degree with a political science major. A Bachelor of Science degree with a political science major, because every cadet tackles a very balanced core curriculum. As superintendent, I now again have access to his transcripts. So I reviewed them again. Over 100 of his 158 academic semester hours were core, including courses in engineering, aeronautical, astronautical, electrical, and mechanical, in the sciences, biology, chemistry, and physics, in mathematics, calculus 1 and 2, and probability and statistics, as well as the other half of the core that you'd expect in the humanities, the social sciences, and liberal arts. If I include his military training courses like airmanship, flying gliders and powered aircraft, survival training, and the like, he amassed 184.5 semester hours over 4 years. Yes, while excelling as an intercollegiate football player and as a senior, leading a group of over 1,000 of our 4,000 cadets. It was a privilege to have the chance to know him then. Indeed, Chris brings a unique blend of experience, skill, and talent, but for a glaring lack of hockey prowess. And I have to say, being the superintendent of the Air Force Academy, we've been at the wrong end of RMU hockey sticks too many times. But other than that, he's a great fit for RMU. He will ensure you remain a student-centered institution of higher learning, committed to academic excellence, and focused on producing graduates of consequence and influence in their personal and professional lives. Chris, you're taking the reins at a really crucial moment in higher education, ripe with challenges and with remarkable possibilities. Your ability and capacity for communicating, especially for listening, are very well suited for this time in our country. And I do appreciate the sign of respect for our national anthem, by the way, today. We also defend the right of people to dissent. And I want you to know how meaningful that was for me, for all of us to be able to express in our own ways. That's part of education as well. As I've discussed with our Academy alumni, over the 62 years of the Air Force Academy's existence, our country has doubled in size and blossomed in diversity. Diversity in experience and diversity in thought. And with that growth comes the need for inclusion. With energized student activism on social issues comes the need for civil discourse on serious and sensitive topics. Our response to the internal challenges in higher education must be addressed within that greater context of the issues we see at play in our nation. Amidst the challenges of the day, fortunately, the fundamental essence of education remains constant. At its core, education is about confronting our preconceived notions. It's about questioning our place in the world and learning how our talents can be put to the greatest good. Education transcends time and culture, breaks down barriers to understanding, and brings about acceptance and enlightenment. The college experience is meant to be transformational, to have a profound impact on a person's life and career. So from administrators to coaches and faculty, the question we must all ask is, how do we design the college experience to prepare the next generation of young men and women to thrive in a dynamic, ever more crowded, and increasingly interconnected world? At the Air Force Academy, we've approached this question along 3 major lines of thought. First, we must remain unrelenting champions of the liberal arts, which is exactly what you expected the general to say. Beyond the technical complexities of our society, our everyday experiences remain deeply human. Our charge, then, is to properly educate and prepare the next generation to reach beyond their comfort zones and learn to operate where difficult ideas and different disciplines intersect. Our curriculum, we think, will be best presented as interdisciplinary, science and technology interwoven in the fabric of the humanities, to develop in our students the technical cognizance necessary to operate today's sophisticated technology, but to do so with the emotional and social intelligence that typically come from a deeper understanding of the human condition. Perhaps then, these are the theses we can share with the transformational experience of RMU, developing the whole person, to prepare students to identify their boundaries, to recognize their strengths and their weaknesses, and to embrace the realization that our most effective solutions require a balance between what we sum up as STEM and what we know as the humanities. Of course, this is not an original or blazing insight. Many more people are opining on this and expressing their opinions about the value of liberal arts. 50 years ago, C.P. Snow wrote about the two cultures, science versus a liberal arts, if you will. But perhaps now, this generation is the one that can complete Snow's bridge between the cultures. Some have asserted that modern technology, particularly social media, brings with it its own psychology, its own sociology. I might submit for evidence, Exhibit A, Pokemon Go. Or with more serious repercussions, Exhibit B, cyber hacks that undermine the integrity of data, damage confidence in the financial markets, or seed doubt about the narrative of national leaders. For me, the challenges of the day reinforce the importance of a balanced education, one that prepares graduates to employ the full spectrum of human knowledge to solve our world's problems in creative ways. Our second area of emphasis focuses on our role as educators. We aim to cultivate an environment in the classroom and around campus that embraces diversity of thought and respect for human dignity, conditions that serve as the bedrock for addressing new ideas with confidence, open minds, and the power of reason. Chris, I see from your colleagues and your board that your charge is to ensure RMU remains a force for good. It is here that raw ideas, at times controversial, can be discussed openly and freely, where people, through civil discourse, can arrive at a shared understanding and collaborative solutions. Finally, we strive to push boundaries of thought and inculcate in every cadet, every student, an unquenchable spirit embracing discovery, lifelong learning, and service. This beautiful campus provides the ideal setting to engage as a community and with the surrounding community and serve as a driving force for the common good. Your university, through its rich academic programs, its partnerships with local businesses, healthcare providers, schools, and governments, can help shape the dreams, aspirations, and identity of not only your students, but those you touch, those you inspire. My wish for you is that the ideas developed here radiate beyond the walls of the university and transform your graduates into the leaders who will drive the economic vitality of the region and improve the quality of life for your neighbors and for our nation. In closing, let me leave you with words from a previous president, albeit from a different body, the body politic. President John F. Kennedy related that President Eisenhower gave him this advice the day before his inauguration. You'll find no easy problems ever come to the president. If they're easy to solve, someone else has solved them. So Chris, I can say with absolute certainty that you will be up to the task. For you and Barbara and your sons, incredible opportunities lay ahead. And if I can echo the words of a wonderful student last night, Merritt, when she emphasized being on the rise, Robert Morris University, enjoy this remarkable journey, ever on the rise. Thank you so sincerely for the honors and welcome you've bestowed on me. Congratulations, Dr. Howard. Go Colonials. Thank you.